This episode of Mental is brought to you by Spas and More. Visit spasandmorestl.com for more information.
All right, welcome back everyone to another episode of Mental. Today, before we get started though, I want to talk to you a little bit about IT security and services. If you have a company or if you just do a lot of work out of your home and you're concerned about your safety, you should be. It's 2025. A lot of things go down online. If you are looking for the best customer service, the ultimate in diagnostics of telling you what you need to protect your company, protect your assets, protect everything that's online. As we know, it's all digital. Call the people over at NWO today. They can get you set up for free. They're local. They're going to give you a person on the phone and not some bot at any given time. So if you are looking to get a free quote for your business or home, call NWO today. Beyond that, I can't recommend a higher magnitude of excellence within that world than NWO. So check them out. Also, if you are a business owner, a parent, or just an adult that notices some slowing down, some imbalance in your hormonal interaction throughout the day, or just some ebbs and flows that don't feel natural, go get some blood work done. And you may be a good candidate for HRT or TRT treatment. And if you are, I would suggest you go down to our friends at Prime Performance. Prime Performance is more than just TRT and HRT treatment. It's more than just for that added boost in the gym. It helps keep you mind, body, and spirit balanced. It's great if you have kids for being more patient because you're not as wishy-washy with things. So go check out Prime Performance today. Tell them that we sent you here at Punchline Productions. Today on the show, I have Jennifer Bardot. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. It flowed well. So for those listening at home or watching, can you tell us just a little bit about who Jennifer is? Because most of the individuals are probably know you as a compilation author. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah. So I published 7 international best-selling anthologies, which anthologies are like a collection of stories. So
Okay.
yeah, I never thought I would be a publisher, but now I have a publishing company and I lead a women's association and I'm a mother of 3 and I have a jewelry line and I am a serial entrepreneur and I love just trying new things. I'm starting a reality TV show as of Thursday.
Nice.
I love pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Were you always this person? Or did you
No,
blossom into this?
I've always had to be resilient, right?
Okay.
Life's always been difficult because I was diagnosed with a disability in 3rd grade. But I've always just been that person that's just like jumped off the cliff and just try to figure it out. And I know I'm either going to suck at it or it's going to be amazing. So, yeah,
But you
lots
don't
of
know
lessons.
until you try.
Right, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you, and you don't have to, anything you don't feel comfortable answering, I got you. But did you?
Are you going to take my blood type?
No. Did you try, what did you try prior to this that maybe didn't work out? Entrepreneurial.
Oh, man. Oh, my first business was a residential and commercial cleaning company at the Lake of the Ozarks. I did it right after undergrad. And it's not that it didn't fail. It's that I got into it naively thinking that it was going to be a scalable business, and it wasn't. And I quickly learned, like, my employees were stealing my clients, so non-competes didn't, like, hold up. I had some of my employees stealing from my clients. I had to file different agreements with condo complexes that hadn't even paid me. But since I was such a small dog on the block, it didn't really matter. So they knew they could just walk all over me. So it actually pushed me to go back to grad school, and that's when I got my 2 masters. So, But yeah, so my first business was pretty much all of those lessons.
But you needed to do that, right? I think there's so many people stuck. I had a friend of mine ask me once about what my opinion was of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion about it, and we talked about the stress and the 90-hour plus work weeks, right? Ultimately, after the end of the discussion, he was like, I think I'm just going to sit on this. He had come into some money. He's like, I think I'm just going to sit on this and just do my 9 to 5.
Sure.
He's like, I love the idea of going to work, doing my work, then shutting my work brain off and coming home. And it's hard for me to fathom that mentality because I tried it once.
Same.
And I was like, no way, Jose.
Yeah.
I got
I'd fall asleep.
an instant message or how do you call it? I suppose on my computer from my supervisor at one point. This is in my 20s. And they're like, oh, take a late lunch, did you? And I was like 3 minutes late from lunch. But I was an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've already hit exceeded my sales quotas.
Right.
It was an electrical company, national electrical company. I won't talk about who they are. They know who they are. And what was crazy is like far exceeded everything. And I remember asking, like, the straw on the camel's back for me was I asked, like, oh, does this mean I get a bigger raise at the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, everybody gets 10% across the board.
Mm.
I said, then what's my incentive?
Right.
So then I got in trouble for some silly things. Like, you know those air duster cans?
Yeah.
You know if you turn them upside down, it gets real cold?
Oh yeah, that's how you clean the computer.
Yeah. So I did that, and I like sprayed one of my like
Ooh.
buddies in another cubicle, and he like flipped out.
The skin fall off?
So then like I got asked to go to HR.
Oh no.
And manager's like standing in the doorway, and the HR director or whomever, manager or whatever you call it, is sitting behind the desk, and they're like, have a seat. And I was like, all I could think to say was, are you guys fucking serious?
Yeah, right.
And
You
she's
can't
like,
cuss.
she goes, I did because I didn't know, my mind was, I didn't know
Right.
how to contain like
Yeah.
proper things because it was so mind boggling.
Yeah.
Like the managers were in closed door meetings all day because of this incident. And then I had to go talk to this, and she goes, hey, we're going to put you on a 2-week unpaid suspension. And I said, I'll just make it forever. See you guys later.
Good for you.
That was the last time I worked in the corporate America.
Yeah, corporate's not for me.
Yeah.
I just can't do the 8 to 5. I'd fall asleep at the desk. It's boring and it's not enough challenge.
Well, that's
and I
part
like
of the
being
reason
my
why
own
too.
boss.
You're going in now early.
Yeah.
It's 9 to 5.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, 9 to 5, whatever.
You're as
Banker's
punctual.
hours, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, banking hours.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is- yeah.
I don't think that exists anymore. Like people discovered they could do everything remote
Yeah.
during the pandemic.
Well, I thrived during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where is that when did you do the first book?
My first book was in 2021, so it was actually coming out of COVID.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it was mainly my clients. I just heard all these stories and I was like, what can I do in my tiny wheelhouse to create hope?
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when I looked into my Rolodex and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell our stories and we can unveil these hard stories to create hope through hardship. So, but I mean, it took me, man, to have the courage to actually be an entrepreneur after failing the first time and after having 3 kids and like actually wondering if I could pay my bills. I didn't take that leap until I joined, I left Enterprise Bank and Trust and I joined Willis Towers Watson, which is one of the largest insurance companies in the world. They're headquartered in London. And I quickly realized like corporate, that much structure is not for me. So it was the anniversary of growth. It was the 1-year anniversary of growth when I jumped into being
Anniversary
full-time.
of growth. What is it?
That is my second anthology.
Okay.
So I have 7 of them.
Okay. So first one's called
Owning Your Grit.
Owning Your Grit.
Yeah.
So the overall theme though is the grit.
Grit. Yeah,
right?
I trademarked it. Yeah.
Okay. And then second one is growth.
Yeah, so I published a Deconstructing Grit collection.
Okay.
So I rolled out a book every 5 months. So it was growth, then it was resilience, intention, then tenacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I closed that out and I decided we need to have action oriented behind grit. And that's where Living Well came into play.
Okay.
So I launched Living Well with Grit. And then I realized, well, what's an industry that you really have to, have grit? So it's Successful Entrepreneurs with Grit. That's the 7th one.
That was the one that was just recently done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and NWO, Nick was in it. You said one of your sponsors on
Oh,
the
yeah.
opening credits. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to mark that as another good plug.
For
NWO. Because he's only in it because he's the best at what he does.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
He was a client of mine when I was at Enterprise.
Really?
Yeah.
What
Right.
about what's volume 8 look like?
Well, Volume 8 is going to be a second edition of Successful Entrepreneurs with
Okay.
Grit because I've had such a pull for folks that have wanted to participate in that first one
Mm-hmm.
and they want to have a chance to tell their story. Because to be an entrepreneur, you have to have grit and you have to have grit daily because if you're not evolving quick enough, then you're going to fail in this market.
So you remember that I texted you the other day. We'll talk about this on camera.
Yeah.
That I have an idea.
Yeah.
But I never,
Oh, you were going to share it now? Okay, cool.
Because I never
Yeah, never. Yeah.
talked about it. So I had some friends who you've talked to now because I've connected you with them,
Yep.
who are potential.
Mhm.
Would it be an author for the next book?
Yeah.
Right? And they had this idea to talk about because I had a rough day the other day and we had a meeting and I try and be very open about things because like the only way I learn my lessons for my emotional fortitude is to like express it now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not be a victim about it, not be
Yeah.
like, oh, it feels bad for me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm going through this. This is why you're going to get this version of me at this moment. I need a timeout,
Exactly.
right? So the next day, one of them texted me and was like, hey, you seemed like you were pretty defeated yesterday. Like, you got time for a workout, if you want to come up and do a workout. I'm like, cool, let's go. Let's get
Yeah.
up and get moving. So then they had this thought process that I thought was brilliant about the mental fortitude and mental anguish that you sometimes go through as an entrepreneur. Oftentimes you see these situations where it's like Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or all these people at the top that are speaking and they're doing TED Talks, but you very seldom until you get like a biography hear about like when people are eating ramen noodles for like 4 months straight or living in their car or crying their eyes out or can't get out of bed because they're so depressed.
Yeah.
Most of the successful people I know had those moments too.
Absolutely.
It's just that those moments, much like what I would like in my situation too, like my fire came from a great deal of pain.
Yeah, those are the moments that make you and they don't break you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or they do, right?
Or they break you, but then you go back to that 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I think that's the divider, right?
That's the divider.
The divider is like hit the wall. You said leap and jump a couple different times.
Just jump off that cliff. Yeah.
Have you heard the jump speech that Steve Harvey gives?
I don't think so.
It's incredible. I used to listen to it like 6 times a day.
There's a lot of affirmations.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It's
please
cool.
do.
It's basically the synopsis of it is basically that like God's never let you down before. His promises that he only gives you what you're prepared for.
Right.
The bills are going to pile up. The things are going to happen anyway. But if you don't jump, your parachute never opens.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Your parachute never opens. You're going to hit the wall a few times. You're going to run into the cliff. You're going to get some scrapes, some bruises, some scratches.
Yeah.
But if you don't jump, the parachute never opens.
Yeah.
And I love that because he talks about a friend of his who does, and maybe this is an anecdote for the story itself, but he talks about a friend of his who's a landscaper. And he's like, all he does is mow lawns. But he makes $3 million a year.
Yeah, and I hate that right? So I grew up from a family of all blue collar, right? My dad is tuck point in masonry, and my grandfather was a Cadillac mechanic, and they are very successful, but everybody has that mindset if you're blue collar, you're not successful. And why? It's because it's all about the presentation. And generally, those are the richest people in the room,
Right.
And they're the most humble and kind because they've had to go through the grit, the hard things, and do the work to build up what they've created. So.
Was your, you said your uncle was a Cadillac mechanic?
No, my grandpa.
Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Did he
On
talk?
my dad's side.
Was he a big talker?
Well, I didn't meet him. He passed away at 42 with a stroke. Yeah.
Oh, then my joke seems inappropriate.
Don't do it. No, I'm sure he's probably a player or whatever. It's good.
No, I just meant like talker because I was like, I wonder if his buddies used to call him Cadillac, yak, 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 because he never
That's
stopped
hilarious.
talking.
No.
Like the song, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's
It's a
funny.
Billy Joel song. Do you not even know the song?
I don't know it.
Some Father O'Leary, dun, 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 dun. I don't know those parts. And then it's like, Cadillac, yak, 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 yak.
Oh, I've heard that now. Yeah. Thank you. You nailed it with the yuck, yuck, yuck. That's hilarious.
Okay.
No, but I think people underestimate those that don't come across all put together,
Well, no. And that's the power of hard work. I think that's what gives you that edge is the determination and the hard work. People aren't willing to work will never succeed at anything.
Yeah, no.
You're just coasting. Anytime that I've had difficulties or been in doubt of anything, it's typically because of a need to take a break or like that feeling of like maybe this isn't working the way I need it to be. Whatever that situation is, hard work. And I tell my kids that you have
3 boys, yeah.
Yeah.
I always say they're in
especially
competition with
boys.
themselves. I think that's huge.
Like the strongest survives out of the 3?
No. They're in competition with themselves because they're always in competition with each other.
Right.
And it's like, no, we each have our own unique, attributes. Just be in competition with yourself and do that the best.
Yeah, you don't focus on anybody else's journey.
Exactly.
Especially as young men, I think it's difficult. My youngest is 10, 2 boys, and we talk about that a lot because right now there's a thing going where all these guys are slapping each other in the face. These little kids.
Well, we did that back in the day, remember? If you have a big hand, you're going to get cancer.
Well, yeah, but that was like this, and then you use your own hand. I'm talking about these kids straight up slapping each other.
Oh, I don't know this.
But it's disrespectful.
Well, it is very rude.
And so my son was like, oh, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so all have smacked me in the last 2 weeks. And I was like, man, I don't know how to address this because he's involved in a situation.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, from a parent, adult, teacher perspective, whether you start something, finish something, or involved in something, there's 5 incidences within the month. Tyson's involved in all of them in some capacity. The rest of these kids are variable.
Okay.
I was like, so you got to work on you, man. And I don't want to necessarily punish you for this certain instance because you're doing this.
Right.
But I've gotten to the point, and this may be bad parenting, where consistently being picked on, because this is kind of what I was told. I was like, at some point, I've spoken with teachers, I've spoken with our parents. I was like, I think the best way to end this at this point is if you continue to get messed with by this one kid, punch him in his nose.
Yeah, for me, it's like mama bear instinct is like, let me go talk
I
to
wish
this
I could
kid.
shrink.
I know, but then you have to teach them the lessons to have a respect for themselves. So
Yes. So I had that punch in the face mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning I'm pulling up to drop him off at school, and I see the other young man that he got into it with yesterday. Now they were shadow boxing. They chose to do this on their own. They're like, oh, we were shadow boxing. And then he's like, and he kept slapping me. Like if he win, he'd slap me. He's like, so I slapped him, and he's like, you took it too far, and he tried to push me. I'm like, all right. So when I saw the kid though, and I know him well, I thought about it, and I'm like, how would I want to be addressed if I was that kid?
Right.
Like, how would it? And so this morning I just told him, I was like, hey man, I said, lift each other up. I was like, you are a popular kid, and you guys like hanging out, and I know that it's not always him, and it's not always you, and annoying stuff happens, but let bygones be. Like today, work on lifting each other up.
You know what I always do is
And he's like, all right. And I was like,
I love it. I provide the exact opposite of what they think they're going to get from me. Like if something like that happens, mama bear will be like, I want to go punch that kid in the face, but I'm not going to do that, right?
Right.
But you're like, do you need a hug? Are you okay? Is there something going on? Like take the exact opposite route. Instead of like disciplining them because you know they've done something wrong, just do the exact opposite.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is certainly a way to do things. I've done something like that because of a moment I can remember my grandfather, actually. So very stoic dude. Probably verbally said I love you like 3 times.
Wow. Yeah.
But like always knew, right? Yeah. Like there's the generation. So I remember one time I got into a fight at school. This was probably 6th grade. It was either 4th or 6th grade, but I'm thinking it was 6th grade. My mom and my aunt and my grandmother are all yelling at me upstairs. He's down in the basement building his models. And he was the only one that ever spanked me. So it was 4th grade. Because I wasn't getting spanked in 6th grade, was I? I don't know.
You're getting spanked in 4th and 5th and 6th.
I was always under the belt.
Oh, shoot.
So he calls me down to the basement. He's like, Corey, come down here. And I go down to the basement. And he's like, you know what you need? And I'm like, I can recall like walking towards him, like getting ready to like just take down pants for a woman. Not like, like this is how they did it, right? Like, I wasn't bare-assed.
Yeah,
but,
right.
But so I'm like getting ready to get what I thought was hit with the belt. And he goes, I think you need a hug. And I was like, oh, because he's like, did you start the fight? And I was like, no. He's like, all right. And he goes, go up to your room, wait for dinner, and I'll take care of the women. I can say that now because he's passed, but he called them all women. He's like, I'll take care of the women. I was like, okay. So I just went upstairs, and when I came out to dinner, nobody said anything about it and never heard about it again.
Nice.
But I remember that stuck out in my brain because I thought for sure I was going to get whooped.
I only got in 2 fights in my
And I
whole
got hugged.
life.
Did you
And
win
my
both?
parents were proud of me with both of them.
Were you defending somebody? Or?
Well, one of them was defending my friends, and the other one was advocating for myself. So yeah, I stuck the girl in the locker.
You stuck the girl in the locker?
I did.
That's very Saved by the Bell of you.
Yeah. Well, they were mean, and I was short, and I was like 4'11" when I was in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
And these girls were always picking on me, and I was like, I've had enough. So
Yeah.
popped her right in the locker.
And then closed it? Locked it? Mm-hmm. Nice. How long was she in there?
I don't know.
A while. Like at least a half period?
At least like a couple of classes. So.
Oh, wow. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen that in television shows.
Well, it happened.
In movies. That's pretty fantastic. I guess I taught her a lesson too.
Well, yeah, because you can't bully people. You know?
You can't bully people. I think that's obviously a projection, right? Like people as you heal understand that that's a projection.
Well, and I would know now not to do that, but like I think I was in like the 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we kind of rabbit holed. I don't think I ever
Sorry.
got to the point. No,
Yep.
Why are you sorry? I did it to us. The idea is the next book, there should be a recorded follow-up, mini docuseries, aligned with the individuals in the book,
That'd be cool.
interviewed by yourself,
Yeah.
that talk about the mental fortitude that goes along with it. So they can read the journey,
Right.
but then watch or listen to on podcasts in adjacent to, not like the audio version of the book,
Right.
but like the backstory. Like,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
learn more. You want to learn more? Watch this episode.
I did that with a few of the authors when I was working with Outreach Studio, when I just launched a couple of my books, and it was powerful because it's compelling when you can actually like hear the author's story in their voice, in their tone, and like their mannerisms and everything. Like brings the story to life. So I love that idea. Yeah.
Were you? Here's the question, and then
Okay.
I'll tell you why I'm asking it, and then you can answer it.
Okay.
Were you inspired by a lack of something within yourself. The reason I ask that, because you're writing books about others people's success and what it takes to get there in their journey. When I started doing mental, I did it because I felt very, at the time especially, well, actually prior to that journey really of last year, I've lived the better part of my adult life in a state of mental unawareness or mental, not being fully mentally healthy or aware of things. And so I started mental to hear other people's stories about mental fortitude and overcoming adversity and how to stay positive and what your routines are and all these things, because I was on that journey and I wanted to learn more about it. And so I was like, oh, if I can sponge up everybody else's, not only can I help myself, but maybe I can help other people who are going through things.
Totally.
Was there a part of you that did to inspire yourself, I should say?
Oh, totally. I mean, if you want to be totally transparent, when I started publishing these books, I knew I was going to be ending my marriage. So I had to have my own grit to like figure out what that journey looked like. And I think by me helping others share their story, by them having the courage to share what they've gone through, gave me the courage to then change my life. So like I had to step in and write in every one of those books. And through doing that and then having these people, that I'm supporting on this journey, it helped me push myself out of my comfort zone. Because it's much easier to stay in an environment that's just comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Other than like taking that leap and being like, okay, let's go. I'm getting divorced and I'm raising 3 kids solo and I'm going to start my own business. So like by doing that and then hearing these stories, it gave me the courage to then own my grit.
You're creating a matter of fact situation.
For sure.
Rather than like, what if?
Right. Well, at the time I didn't know that I was doing, but now looking in hindsight, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
When I was doing this, I was actually thinking, well, hopefully, who's ever struggling behind closed doors will read one of these stories and then they'll have the courage to take whatever leap that they need to take. So.
And then because of that snowballed into the jewelry and the...
Yeah, that snowballed into 7 books. I actually was self-funding Grit. So I would pay for all of the luncheons for these people to get together. That turned into a membership platform. That turned into a jewelry line. That turned into a radio show. That turned into a reality show and a publisher of Webster Groves magazine. So like just always, saying yes to things that are like filling my cup where it's all in alignment,
Yeah.
So.
We'll be in Webster Groves later today. By the time this airs,
Cool.
We'll have been there today.
Nice.
For football.
Nice.
So you've got all these things going. Out of these stories, is there 2 that stand out to you?
There's so many. It's hard just to narrow down to like 1 or 2, but like...
And keep it anonymous. That way not all 25 authors are like, why didn't you mention mine?
Right, I know. And I read all of them, and I hand select each of the authors, and I even like figure out which chapter kind of like dovetails to the next one.
Okay.
So I'm very much immersed in the writing process. But I mean, for me, they're all really powerful, but like my best friend with the first one, Carrie Burgraff, her story is powerful. She was a lifeguard, and she had one of her kids like lose their life during her calling. So like that always scarred her, and she eventually was able to heal from that. But she talks about, I forget what the name of it is, but that's what her chapter is called. And if like you think of like a Japanese pot where all those cracks are and it's filled with gold, it's all the cracks of life that allow you to learn about yourself and provide you the wisdom to make sure you're not repeating those same lessons. And like, there's so many stories that are just powerful because these people pour their heart and soul into these 1,500 word chapters.
Sure.
And a lot of the times when I ask them to share their chapter, like, I don't have anything to share. And then they reflect and they're like, hey, I have gone through some things. But like, I mean, I got ran over by a train when I was in the 3rd grade, and I had always had a fear of trains, and like finally like being able to have the courage to like talk about it, that's no longer a fear. So it's like whenever we write about our insecurities or our fears and our challenges, then we're able to heal and we can go to those next levels.
I wonder how many people are here today that have been hit by a train.
I know.
It's got to be a very small number.
My ear had to get glued back on.
Really?
Yeah, I got hit by the train when I was circling the park of Six Flags with the 50-foot drop-off here in St. Louis. The bridge. With the 50-foot drop-off.
Yeah.
Well, I was really little, and I swung my body like this, and I had just gotten off that log flume, so I was soaking wet. Well, and this is back in 93, where they didn't have like chains on the train. I slipped right off the seat and landed right on the train tracks. And my dad like had to stand up and like go to the conductor and be like, sit down, Jen, sit down. And they literally just sliced the back of my ear. So, but I mean, there's stuff like that you go through, and it's significant trauma, you know? But yeah.
I got my face torn up by my own dog. This isn't a dimple. It's a scar. I was 4 years old and I was petting we had a basset hound. Funny thing about it is like recalling this story at one point. I remember one of my aunts talking about he was a mean old basset and didn't realize how that sounded. And like me and my grandmother were like hysterically laughing and like, what did you just say? She was like, he was a mean old basset. And we were like, oh. But I guess he had like a wound on his head or something and I pet the wrong spot. And he just torn my face.
Well, at least he got you here. It does look like a dimple.
So. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but my dad didn't even want me to tell that story because he would have nightmares, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like around him, reliving the traumas?
Reliving the trauma, witnessing his daughter, on the tracks. With
Let me ask you a trivial question about that. Do you have free passes to Six Flags for life?
No.
What?
I wish. No, they didn't even like escort us off the property.
The 80s.
Yeah, because I got the right attorneys.
Crazy. Yeah. They were like,
yeah, I wish. I'd be a little trust fund baby.
Yeah. I didn't think of that. My son,
No.
my youngest son was, I'm going to exaggerate words and say mauled by a hedgehog. He was bitten by a hedgehog at the St. Louis Zoo.
Oh, wow.
We had to like fill out a police report. Blood was spewing
that's
everywhere.
Horrible.
Like park rangers came to fill out a report and everything. And they're like, don't worry,
Do they have rabies and stuff?
I mean, I wouldn't suppose at the zoo. I'm sure they get their
Yeah.
shots and whatnot. And they're adorable.
Yeah.
But see, like being an 80s kid, my first instinct, because they were like, oh, what can we do for you? I was like, nothing. I was like, my son's 4 years old. He probably smells like worms and he has hands in that thing's face. Like
It's his fault.
Yeah, he deserved to get bit. Because they were like, oh, we let the volunteer go.
Yeah,
And I was like, don't let her go.
Yeah,
she didn't do anything wrong. I was like, he's 4 years old.
Yeah.
He was probably smelled like worms.
Wow. Does he talk about that story?
He's been bit by a lot of weird animals, actually. He's been bit by a goose, a camel, a hedgehog.
My goodness.
Something else, like all strange things. And when he was little, he had never ridden a horse up until like a certain age, maybe like 7 or 8. And so when he was real little, I have this video of him doing it because I just think it was hilarious. We had been to Grant's Farm. We had been to like Big Joel's Animal Safari. We had been to a few different places where you could ride camels.
Yeah.
And so he had only ever ridden camels.
Yeah.
And so when he was like 3 and 4 years old, instead of like playing horse, like most kids, like, Dad, can we play horse? He would stand up on this little like milk crate looking thing, but it was like leather, like we kept toys in it.
Sure.
And he would stand on that and he'd be like, Dad, can we play camel? Like, come be the camel. And he would want to ride me around like a camel.
That's hilarious.
Because he didn't know about horses.
Right.
So he's like, Dad, can you play camel? So he had a strange like animal thing. And then I would tell him we had those raccoons.
Yeah.
We never posted pictures because it's illegal in the state of Missouri, so we didn't really have raccoons. And when they got too feral, we just opened our windows up and let them outside.
Yeah.
They were chill, but they had little opposable thumbs.
No way.
When they were hungry, they would tug on your pant leg like
cute.
this.
Wow.
Like
My grandpa
Walmart?
used to have a little spider monkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
On my dad's side.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was actually alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandpa George.
Grandpa George and his monkey.
Mm.
What did the monkey do? I've heard they were aggressive. Because I wanted a monkey growing up.
Yeah, just a little spider monkey. I don't know. He was always with Grandpa George. So.
They have prehensile tails. So they can use their tails like an arm. So a spider monkey essentially has like 5 hands.
Wow.
Because they can use their feet too.
I just think they're cute. They're little. They're cute.
Yeah, I like them. What, so, we're talking about everything except for...
This is too ADHD.
Let's sit back here. And there's like dead silence. If you're just joining us, my guest today is Jennifer Bardot.
Oh, we both have ADHD.
We're here talking about her book series.
Oh my gosh.
You called it a what?
I call
Not
it
a compilation.
an anthology.
An anthology.
Yeah, so it's a collection of stories.
So like when I think of an anthology, I think of like Aesop's Fables. Those are like anthologies. Are you familiar?
Nope.
So Aesop is a philosopher.
Okay.
Greek or Roman. Aesop. A-E-S-O-P. Right? Do you know if he's Greek or Roman, or does it matter? Greek. Yeah? Okay. So it's a series of stories.
Okay.
And there's typically a moral or a lesson at the end of them. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, he puts together like the fox and the grapes. There's this one about the fox and the grapes. There's about this buffalo in the field. So they're always morality, tales of morality. But anthology, I think, is an interesting way to go because it gives you a compilation of things. But here's my here's my follow-up to a question I haven't asked yet.
Sure.
Is that, are you going to do offsets of these? Like, have people written in and been like, I want to know more about this individual? Or like, is there a best of series where it's a longer version for each of these people? Or does it give them opportunity to be like, check out my full biography at this point?
A lot of what I've seen is the authors will take their story and then they'll either write their own book. Like Adrienne Bracey, she was in my first book. She ended up writing her whole halftime story after she was a part of my anthology. So it gave her the, the courage to like step into the water, dip her toes into, publishing a book. And then she decided to do her own. And Adrienne Bracey's career was incredible. She was like the CFO for the Rams, the Cardinals. She's working with all these men in this male-dominated space, but she's the CFO, and she's really cool. So what I've seen is some of the authors will be a part of this, and they'll copy what I've done and like recreate other anthologies, or they'll go and share their own stories. But no, that's a great idea. I've not done that. I don't have a best of, so that's a cool idea, cool concept. Well, but I have had one author participate in 4 of my anthologies. So this was one of my uncle's mentees. They were really good friends. Jennifer Church. My uncle was the president of Association of Subcontractors for a long time, helped leading my family business, and he mentored her. So she participated in growth, resilience, intention, tenacity, all 4. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Do you have things that you haven't started yet that are in your brain that are ready
Always,
to come out?
just like you. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I'm always led by like, what am I thinking? What am I going to do? I have tons of ideas. I want to do a youth grit. Like that's really something I'm passionate about. But I also want to do one for boys too, because I see my boys with the way kind of society is shifting. I want to make sure that they don't lose sight that they need to have grit too. But I have tons of different ideas.
What's your view on, since you're a woman who empowers other women, I would think, and I would certainly say you try and lift people up expressively and unabashedly for being proud of who they are within that female workspace. Raising 3 boys, what are your views on like masculinity versus toxic masculinity and these things? Do you have those, or are they?
I like masculine and feminine energy, and I think together, interwoven, that's where real things happen, right?
Sure.
So like, I'm not good at all things that men are going to be good at, and men aren't probably good at all things women are going to be at.
Right.
We have to embrace what our unique gifts are. And I do think that there's ways to have like male champions and female champions, and we don't have to cut each other down. Like there's ways to collaborate, because it's like a yin and a yang, That's my personal perspective. Not a feminist, but I do empower women to have their voice. But it's not about male bashing. None of my books are about male bashing.
Because you can have.
I love my dad and I love my boys.
Because you can have that without that. That's why I like that perspective, because I agree with you 100%. Like growing up with my grandparents, I was always really enamored with the roles they played within the family, and it was a masculine and a feminine role. Now, there was never any restriction on what either one of those had to be, right?
No.
And I think so often there's a divisiveness that's unwarranted and unnecessary that's put on these descriptions of masculinity or femininity, where it's like, well, too much masculinity is toxic and blah, blah. No, masculinity, true masculinity, I think is right where it needs to be. When you get into toxic traits, you're talking about like men trying to control or do other things.
Yeah.
Those are just character flaws.
Exactly.
I don't think it has anything to do with masculinity.
No.
Because one of the things that really makes me sick, and this has nothing to do with political views, but when things happen to good people in public, and men especially stand by and watch it, or pull out their phone and video it.
That's wrong.
Like that really upsets me.
We were just in Florida, and like you could see this crowd of people leave the ocean and go up on the shore, and there was like 2 guys that were snorkeling, and no one came and got them. It's like that. What's that term called? The innocent bystander theory or something like that.
Sure.
But that's frustrating, and man or woman, like you step up and you figure out how you can help. I mean, and if it comes down to like intervening for like defense, yeah, a man should probably do that. Not like a petite woman, but like you just should show up and help.
That was the difference between like the generational thing. Like when I think about my grandparents, again, I've referenced many times here, they're born 6 hours apart on the same day.
Oh, wow.
April 22nd, 1933.
That's cute.
It is adorable, right?
Yeah.
Grandma's still sharp as a tack. My grandfather's passed, but I remember one time being on the phone and cussing, like loud and bad, on a landline in the kitchen. And when I came into the living room area, my grandfather was in his bedroom. And my grandmother was like, you should go apologize to your grandfather. And I'm like, for what? And she's like, the language he used. She's like, he used to chase guys down the street for saying less than that.
Wow.
And I think about that a lot because I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Like, boo on me for using that language in my grandparents' house, because to this day I don't like cuss in front of my grandmother. Nobody in the family does. Like, you don't drink, cuss. Like, everybody has a certain respect for emo. But I think about that a lot because I'm like, man, that's pretty cool that like that whole generation was like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you just show respect.
Yeah, my dad's like that too, though.
Yeah.
Like, some of his workers were getting picked on by somebody at the bar, and he's like, no, you don't talk to my team like that. You know, it just comes down to respect.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that can be masculine without being toxic.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, as a girl, I would do that too. I would advocate. Is that toxic?
Right. No, I guess it depends.
You know, I don't know.
Like, as long as you're not that like drunk chick at a bar trying to start fights with dudes.
No.
Avocation
Gross.
is one thing, but I think it's one thing. That's
Gross.
a new term. Is this a thing? Toxic femininity? Is that a deal? Because
yeah, there's videos all over YouTube.
oh my gosh. So speaking of anthologies and compiling things, there's one thing I like to compile. At the end of every show, I like to ask a question.
Sure.
And then I like to give a statement. So I'll ask a question second. The statement is I like to tell you back something that I'm taking away from today, that I've learned from our conversation. And in this instance, I think that probably the thing that sticks out the most in my mind is the fact that you kept talking about leaping and your comparison to jumping, which made me think of that speech, but you don't know what you're capable of until you do it.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And I am thankful that you were vulnerable enough to talk about your failures as much as your wins with the cleaning company and that kind of thing. So that's what's sticking out in this conversation is even successful people, oftentimes the most successful people, have failures too, because that's how we get to the point of success.
Divorce is a failure.
Divorce
Losing a business is a failure.
is a failure. I've not been married yet, but
Being in like toxic relationships is a failure, or being surrounded by narcissists is a failure because you still haven't learned how to protect yourself.
well, I think, and we are. I'm quickly figuring out in my adulthood that things that are drawn to us are because of what we're putting out in the universe.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Right. So like I have friends that are perpetually single and talk about how crazy everybody is all the time. And it's like, maybe you need to work on yourself.
Look in that mirror.
And so then my question to you is, before we go today, what is there a saying, a mantra, something that you tell yourself or that you've told yourself over the course of many years that keeps you going?
Oh my gosh, don't worry, be happy. Kind of a hippie spirit. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Because it's really, I mean, life can get hard, right? Mm-hmm. And like, there's been plenty of days where I couldn't get out of bed and just have hope. And I'm like, I have to have hope. Like, I have to. So it's just like, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Like there's a song. Are you going to sing it?
I was thinking about it. I didn't know if it's I always get it mixed up, the music video mixed up. Is Don't Worry, Be Happy. Is Robin Williams in that music video?
No. Mm-mm. Oh, wait, he is. You're right.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he's got this weird, like, floral top. Yeah.
Because it was near the time that they did the movie Club Paradise. Do you remember Club Paradise?
No.
Oh, man, if you haven't seen Club Paradise, great movie, but it's like, don't worry.
Yeah, be happy.
Be happy. Be happy now. Woo,
Yeah.
And then he whistles it.
Yeah, it's
and
cute.
you see it on a commercial, too.
Yeah, it's cute.
But that's Robin Williams, right? Because there's another one that's like something about Carefree that I think Billy Joel sings. No, Simon and Garfunkel. Somebody short from the 80s that was prolific. I'll figure that out later. But Jennifer Bardot, her anthology collection is Grit. Mm-hmm. You can find it on Amazon. We'll put the link below in the description bar. Can they get the digital copies as well? It's
on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart.
Excellent.
But the Audible is going to be launching in October. So.
Excellent. And then you can listen to it while you're driving or
absolutely.
Walking or doing whatever.
Quick hits, only 1,500 words.
Very cool. So we're going to put the links below. Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to come here today.
Having me.
I enjoyed our conversation thoroughly. And we will see you next time on Mental. TRT treatment is something that's widely thought of as something that just gives you an edge. That extra beast mode in the gym, a little bit of push when it's needed, or just that testosterone feeling, right? But in actuality, TRT treatment goes way deeper than that. It helps keep you calm. It helps keep you patient. It regulates your mood by regulating your hormones. It's not just a treatment to go beast mode. It's a treatment to be a calmer and better father. As a business owner and a father myself, I understand all too well how much it's needed to become a little more patient and a little more calm in a world that's pretty chaotic. Go check out Prime Performance today.